All right, here to weigh in on the stakes of the Biden-Putin meeting and what it could mean for America's longstanding partners. I want to bring in retired Army Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano, Vice President of National Security and Foreign Policy at the Heritage Foundation. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, it's great to be with you.
So President Biden's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin is the big event that we're all watching next week. But the recent ransomware attacks, Colonial Pipeline, JBS meat processing, allegedly by Russian hackers, how does this signal Russia's view of President Biden, and what does he need to accomplish in light of those new challenges?
Well, look, this whole trip has really just been setting up for the president to go out and demonstrate that the president goes out. The whole thing's just a complete nothing burger with nothing sauce and a side of nothing. And I think the Putin-Biden meeting will be as ephemeral as the G7 meeting. I mean, all we've really learned so far is that the Joe Biden grandpa Chauncey Gardner thing works. You know, this kind of friendly, smiling face. I mean, we've not just saw Pew poll numbers that said, you know, America's image is on the rebound. The problem with that is that's not. This is great power competition, and countries look at power, not this niceness. So this whole thing is going to wear pretty thin. I think they'll work their way through this summit, but it'll be like the G7. Nothing substantive will come out of it.
Okay, so how about with respect to China? This past week, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin warned on the Hill that China is taking an increasingly aggressive military posture, expanding its regional footprint. What does President Biden need to accomplish in these meetings with our allies with respect to China?
Right. I think that's the second great attribute of Biden foreign policy that we've seen kind of the G7. One is kind of the grandpa image. He's got that shtick down. The other is finger waving, which is he's really great at saying, you know, we should all do something about this. But they don't care. People don't care about words. They care about what they do. Let me give you an example. If Biden really did want to lead the free world and poke China in the face and really get their attention, he would walk in the G7 meeting and say, we should all stand up together. Go to the phones, stand in front of the microphone and say, we all want the Olympics moved. Why should we hold the Olympics in a country that unleashed a pandemic on the world and is the world's leading sponsor of genocide today? We should all want the Olympics in a different place. If the president did that, I'd respect him. But I think all we're really getting is finger waving. We should all do something about this. Of course, they're going to all nod and say, yes, we should. And then they're just going to go back and do what they did the day before.
Well, you talk about wanting him to take a stance on the Olympics, but do you discount what happened this morning? I mean, there's a report out that President Biden urged European nations and Japan to counter China's growing economic security influence by organizing a direct alternative to the Belt and Road Initiative, the Chinese overseas lending and investment push, which is now spreading into Africa, Latin America. Is that not substantive?
Let me give you a great example of how, you know, they can do all the puppet wave they want, but where's the real substantive policy? We actually have in Central Europe an alternative to the Belt and Road. It's called the 3 Seas Initiative. It actually came from the Central European countries. And this administration, even though it started in the last, said, yeah, we're all in favor of that. But the organization that actually would fund the U.S. participation, the DFC, says we don't want to do that. And neither the Secretary of State nor the President of the United States have said, no, we should fund this. So they're not really serious about pushing back on China. They're serious about saying we should all do something. You know, Biden's first thing he said, we're pulling out of Afghanistan. Then he turned around to Turkey and said, can you guys please guard the airport? So his idea of leadership is we're going home. You guys handle this stuff. This is not going to work well very long.
To your point, the White House didn't make any financial commitments in announcing that this morning. So, of course, understanding that a lot of people want to see dollars on the table before putting any stock in this. All right. James Carafano, retired Lieutenant Colonel, thank you so much for taking time for us on this Saturday. Appreciate it.
Really great to be with you. Thank you.